Irish Rugby international Jack McGrath was recently named brand ambassador for Windsor Dundrum Nissan. He took IndoMotoring and Cars Ireland for a spin in his new Nissan Qashqai around his home turf in Terranure to talk rugby and cars.
So, how long have you been playing rugby now? Is it your whole life now, or is it?
Yeah, well, it's become my life, but I probably started playing when I was about 10, so 15 years now.
10 years old?
Yeah.
And when did you go professional?
I was 20.
Whoa.
19, 20. So I came out of school, we went into this thing called Sub Academy where we trained down in Donnybrook early in the morning, around 7 in the morning. And then you're kind of you're always being watched by the people in the academy, so like Collie McEntee at the time when I was there and Richie Murphy. So then I was called into the academy in Leinster, which is you actually train in where we used to be was Riverview, but it's now UCD.
How did you get called up to Ireland? When did that happen?
It's basically from being seen playing with your province week in, week out in the Pro 12. They're pretty much looking at all the video footage, and if you're playing well, you get merited by being called into an extended squad for November internationals, or be it Six Nations. So that's what happened to me. It was 2013. I had a good start to the season. I've been playing quite well and got called into the November series, and subsequently got my first cap against Samoa, which was brilliant.
What's that like? What's it like walking on the pitch for the very first time ever, international, representing your country? What's that like?
I still kind of get goosebumps from it. It's really, really emotional, because just with your family and your friends and all the messages, my phone nearly broke with the amount of messages I got on Facebook and texts and stuff. So it was like, I'm still kind of getting chills thinking about it now. It was really, really special day.
And does that stop during the match? You know, when you actually start, the workload starts and you actually have to play the thing. You can't just stand there absorbing the crowd anymore.
Yeah. Well, up until the point of the anthems, when you're singing the anthem, you're very emotional, and then when they kind of stop, you go into kind of game mode, and you forget about kind of the crowd around you, because you have a job to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're selected on merit, and you can't get caught up in the kind of the crowd or the day that's in it, I suppose.
And so when you get to the second match, then does it calm down a bit, or you still have that same sort of freaked out feeling?
It's it was pretty. The second and third games I played in were pretty big games. We played Australia and New Zealand, so I think they were 1 and 2 at the time. So for that being your second and third cap, it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's not that it wears off, but I think the first one, as everyone always says, it is very special, and I'd have to admit that it is.
What are the fans like in Ireland? Do you get stopped everywhere?
I would do now and again, yeah, because we've had so much success over the last 2 seasons, 18 months. So it's brilliant with Leinster and with Ireland. So yeah, it's nice to get recognised and almost sort of people coming up and saying well done and asking for a picture. Like it is a nice compliment.
It's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And so you drive the car of the year from Windsor Nissan, the Qashqai. What do you think of the Qashqai? Is it big enough for you for a start?
It is big enough, yeah. There's plenty of room. I can, especially in the boot with throwing gear in and stuff, and a few bits and pieces, and I'd have a few rugby mates as well, and they can all fit in the front and the back. So it's big enough for them.
Yeah, let's see Paul O'Connell in this, alright, yeah. Which is not exactly a small lad, I have to say, for a car. It does feel pretty big, actually.
No, yeah, it is, and it's pretty high off the ground, and it drives really well, and it's kind of like a car in a Jeep form, and it's really easy to park, and I have the sat nav there, and for parking in tight spots you have the cameras, and there's cameras underneath the mirrors here, so if you don't want to hit the curbs because you've got a nice pair of alloys you don't want to scrape, so it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah. And you go training, how often do you train?
4 or 5 days a week.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's it gets kind of goes the same track every day from home to training, but it runs well. It hasn't have had no issues with it.
Right, well, we've come to a rugby pitch.
Yeah, I think it's autopilot, I suppose.
Yeah, It's just like homing sense. It's kicked in. We're coming to a rugby pitch.
Yeah, magnetic.
We stopped off in St Mary's in Terenure for a bit of throwing practice. Jack was slightly better, but now I want to take him on a track to even the score.